Hey guys, this is Boo here. Last time I kind of showed you my property tax app on my website. So today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to rebuild it. Here's a reminder of what the app looked like. On here, you can enter any address, click calculate, and it takes a few seconds for it to run. So in this case, it took about 10 seconds, which for me is unacceptable. So let's rebuild it. And let's take a look at the code that we currently have. This is the code. It's about 550 lines long. And what we're going to do is get AI to help us rebuild it in this framework called Streamlit. So in case you guys don't know what this is VS Code. It is an IDE, which stands for Integrated Something Environment, Integrated Developer Environment. I'm not 100% sure, but basically you can code in this. And so if you go to View, Chat, you can pull up Copilot, and you would need to download Copilot as an extension. In here, just click GitHub Copilot. You would need a subscription for it, which I already have, and it uses GPT, in this case GPT 4.0, but I can also use GPT 4.1. And Copilot is created by Microsoft, and in the background it uses GPT, which is the same thing as ChatGPT, the maker of ChatGPT, which is OpenAI. So let's get started. Can you help me redo this code in Streamlit framework so I can speed up my runtime? And let's see what it does. So it's going to review this code. It's going to propose creating a new workspace and a different structure, but we don't want that. We just want the code. We'll deal with the structure ourselves. So let's click rerun without. And then here we see this is the code. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to our app. And we are going to create a new app. And we'll call it App Streamlit. So let's pretend this one is not here. New file. Apologize for that. We'll do new file, app streamlit v2.py. It's a Python file, and let's copy this code. Now let's see what it does. So we can run this code. It looks like this is on the Streamlit framework. So in our interactive terminal, we can just say Streamlit run app streamlit v2.py. So right here, there it is. So this is the first step into our code. We can enter the address in the sidebar. So let's do 8141 Trip Ave. Click enter. Let's see what it does. All right, so it does not do what we want it to do, but that's fine. We got the initial stages set up. Let's take a look at the code again. And we can cancel this. And let's say we will inspect the previous code, which is the app Shiny, and in the app Shiny we are using this property match class. So this property match class is this code that I use to kind of match properties, my input properties, with all the comparable comps, the comps within the neighborhood. So we're going to need to use this. So let's tell Copilot we need to use the generate data class in order, or it's called property match class. Within generate data pi in order to match comparable properties with our input. Can you integrate it to my my code? So let's ask it. It's thinking. It takes a little bit of time to think. All right. So looks like it's able to find this this property match class within generate data. So you can click this icon right here, and it'll automatically fill the code for us in here. And all the greens are the new code, and the reds are the codes that it removed. So let's click keep, and let's run it again. Let's see if it works. Okay. Now let's enter 8141 trip. Oh, it's better. Now it matches all the properties. So we entered our address, half-mile radius, and we see it. So then the recommendations right here. So all that's left is to make it a little more, to beautify it a little bit. Let's get this table all the way to the bottom. Let's get this chart as a bar chart, and let's have the recommendations and the property details at the top. All right, so we'll say this is better. Can you? So within my generate data function class, there is a method that I put that's called output shiny, which outputs a Plotly chart for. It should be called output Plotly, not output shiny, but I had named it output shiny. Can you add output shiny method within the property match class to output the bar chart, the Plotly chart? And Plotly is just an interactive chart where you can hover and interact with it versus it being just a fixed chart. And then we are going to move things around. Can we have the summary detail about the property at the top, followed by the bar chart in the middle, and the table in the bottom? All right. So now it's thinking, and we're going to be able to create this thing closer to what we actually want it to look like. All right. So now we click this icon, have it change the code for us. All right, let's keep it. Let's see what it looks like now. Okay, this is better. So we do 140 trip. All right, so here's our table down here. Here's our summary. And here is our bar chart right here. And you can see that when you hover it, it's interactive. So this is my taxable property according to the county, which is 41,000, and all my comps is around 38,500, which means that the county is valuing my property more than the comps, which is a bad sign because that means I'll pay more taxes. So this is almost there. We want to do a few more things. So let's add a map to it. So let's say we can have our input address and we can do a map around all the comps within our radius. So if we select half a mile, it will draw a circle around the half mile radius, and then it'll plot all the addresses using the latitude and longitude that we currently have. So if you look at the table right here, part of the generate data is it has the latitude and longitude of all the comps for all these addresses. So we're able to map it. So let's do it again. Can you add a map? And the framework we're going to use is called Folium. A Folium map next to the bar chart where the center is our input address, and it plots all the comps within our selected radius in the map, along with a circle drawing the radius around our input address. Okay. So it's thinking. All right, it's outputting everything. And we see the Folium right here. So let's click this icon. So it added all this Folium part right here. And let's keep it, and let's run it again. Right here it says issue with Folium, Streamlit Folium. So the reason is because we also need to install Folium. No, it says no module, no Streamlit Folium. So we have to pip install this. So this installs this Folium library from the PyPy feed, which is kind of like a feed where like people upload vetted libraries, and we're able to install it and have it be used within our project. So now that's in there, let's do it. Oops, I just clicked the wrong one right here. All right. So let's enter our address, and we're actually gonna do a 1 mile radius. So there it is. So here's our table, here's our Folium, where we can zoom in. We can see that our address is around here, and then our summary information right here. So we just need to clean it up a little bit. We want all the information on maybe the left side, and we want our centered address right in the middle and in red, and we want that map to be right next to our chart. So let's do this one more time. All right, I would like my input address to be red in the map. Would also like the folium map to be side by side with the plotly chart and the pandas table data frame right beneath it. We also, well, let's do this for now, and then there's one more integration that I would like to add right after this, but let's check out the code first and the results first. All right, let's integrate it in here. Keep, and let's run it. Ooh, something doesn't look right. The charts are side by side, but I need it to be to fit a little bit better. So let's see. The charts are side by side, but the Streamlit app outside of the sidebar are very narrow. Can you make it fit the browser? All right, while it's thinking to do that, this is pretty much what we have. We just want it to fit a little bit better in the browser. And then the other thing is, if we enter, let's say, trap av, it can't find the address. So we want to integrate a fuzzy matching logic into here as well. So if I do like 8141 trip with multiple P's, it would be able to find like the nearest address that matches the fuzzy matching. All right, so let's add this code that makes it look a little bit better. And then we could ask, can you add fuzzy matching for the input address where capitalization doesn't matter? All right, so we want to make sure that capitalization does not matter. So for now, we'll check that the output looks good. All right, so let's do. And here it is. Here's the chart. Here's the information. Here's the map. We can see all our comps with our main address right in there. And then here is our summary table of all the comps and their tactical evaluations. So if we did trip fully capitalized, so it's able to find it, but what if we do trap avenue? So we need to integrate that fuzzy matching, and so let's get back to the code. So it uses this fuzzy wuzzy library, so we have to pip install fuzzy wuzzy in here. Oh, looks like we already have it. And let's apply this code. All right. And keep it. And let's run this Streamlit app again. Let's say trap av, and we'll make trap capitalized. All right. Looks like there's some issue going on using. Okay, let's restart this. Let's stop it. Not sure what's going on. Maybe we're stuck in a loop or something. All right, so it looks like there's some issue going on. We can actually just copy this, remove this warning and stop. We'll copy this into the code, into the AI. Let's have the AI solve this for us. All right, so let's do this. Supposedly there's something wrong with Fuzzy Wuzzy. So we'll stop this, and then we'll pip install Python Levenstein. All right, pip install Python Levenstein. All right. Then we don't have to do anything. Apparently that's supposed to speed up Fuzzy Wuzzy. Let's do. All right, it looks like there's still some issues right here. So we'll say I'm still having issues with Fuzzy Wuzzy. Can we do a different implementation? All right, so let's use something else. In this case, we're going to use difflib. Keep, and then let's run it. All right. So let's do 8141 trip F. Ooh, no data found. Please enter valid address. Now that's interesting. Okay. So this might not be the best implementation using close matches. So let's ask it to redo. Can we use Fuzzy Wuzzy again, but make the implementation faster? So this is basically what we have. All we need that's left is just implementing the fuzzy matching logic. We'll recap with Fuzzy Wuzzy. We'll try to reuse it, and Let's see. Let's actually do GPT 4.1. Let's see if it does better. Can you implement fuzzy wuzzy logic to help do fuzzy matching with input address versus all addresses to get the nearest match? All right. So the nice thing about Copilot is you get to select which GPT model you want, and supposedly 4.1 is better than 4.0. So let's try that. See if we get better luck. And then let's add. All right, let's keep it. All right, let's do 8141 trip out. So this get match property, time to match property is 1 second. But for some reason, okay, maybe it just needed to be refreshed. All right, get match properties. Get match properties is way too slow. All right, so let's try to do this. This is a cache implementation. Keep. So this is nice because it kind of shows that AI makes a lot of mistakes, and so we keep asking it to re-implement our code, and it's going to try to find a better implementation of it. All right, let's see if this works. Okay. So right now it's still very slow. Let's actually check out the code to see what's going on. Why this fuzzy match properties radius. Okay. We actually don't need it to cache. Oh, okay, let's try a different address. Nope. This is taking a little bit longer, so we'll have to re-implement this fuzzy matching logic. Get match properties is way too long. All right, let's refactor a little bit. Let's see. Yep, this is no good. This code implementation is no good. So now, I think there might be some issues with Fuzzy Wuzzy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pip uninstall Fuzzy Wuzzy. And then we're going to try to reinstall it. Now pip install fuzzy wuzzy. All right, so it could just be some issue with the library. So in here, let's rerun the Streamlit app. One thing we can do though is let's look at which implementation. So let's do pip install fuzzy wuzzy 17. Now we can do maybe the previous implementation is faster. Nope, looks like something still going on. So so we'll have to fix this get match property. Fuzzy matching address. Okay. So we'll go back to GPT-4o. This implementation of fuzzy match address is way too slow. I need a faster fuzzy matching implementation. Yeah, this is unacceptable. This might as well be like the previous implementation. It's actually worse than the previous implementation. Oh, okay, so we could just use rapid fuzz instead of fuzzy wuzzy. And we'll do pip install rapid fuzz. All right, so we already have that library. Let's keep it. Let's run it instead. All right, much faster. There it is. So this is a draft of our implementation. Here's my actual implementation on my website right now at cookcountytaxcompare.com/property tax. So in my implementation, which is live, you can enter your address. It calculates the suggestions, all the information, all the comps, and your comparable tables and your chart. So check it out. Again, it's cookcountytaxcompare.com. If you go here, cookcountytaxcompare.com, and click on the property tax comparison tool. I also re-implemented the real estate ROI and the loan maturity tool in Streamlit as well. So these are much faster and cleaner. So yeah, this is Voos, and this is our attempt at refactoring our code with AI. It took a little bit longer than expected, but the implementation is much cleaner, and I didn't really have to think too much in order to recode this. So this took about 30 minutes versus if I was going to do it by myself, it would probably take all day. So we live in a society now where AI is a fact of life, and if you don't want to be left behind, you have to learn how to use it. It is a tool, a very powerful tool, and at least on the coding side, it is very powerful. But there's other ways that AI is creeping into our lives that is inevitable. And this is Vu. You guys have a good day. Thanks. Bye.